Meanwhile, commemorating the International Mother Day tongue, guest on ACNN TV morning show now streaming, Mrs. Grace Bako, a language instructor, Anglican Girls Grammar School, Gudu, Abuja, and Pastor Joshua Godwin Iworin, a language instructor at the Federal University of Petroleum Resources Staff School, Efunu, Delta State, have explained the importance of mother tongue, stating that it is vital in expressing and communicating ideas as well as important too in shaping culture and identity as well as preserving it.
I think it's a very good thing to start something and to sustain it. So we thank God and we thank the initiators of this. At least it's reminding us of where we are coming from and the need to preserve it or to keep it going. There's a saying that goes like this, that language is the mother of all other things, other aspects of life. In school, we say language is the mother of all subjects.
Yeah.
Because even if you know that subject as what, you can express it. So if you have any initiative, development goals or whatever, if there is no language to really communicate your ideas, you are going nowhere. You won't be able to achieve, because you are dealing with a whole lot of people that speak different languages and all of that. And that is why if somebody is coming up, example in Nigeria, is coming up with any idea, the number one thing they do is to sit down, put that idea in writing, using the general language, that's the lingua franca, which everybody that is educated can read and understand. Apart from that, people that don't understand the major language are equally put into consideration. You now break it down to their level. The idea is that they want everybody to be carried along. In order, if not, you won't be able to achieve what you want to achieve. So to achieve these millennium goals, languages play a very important role. It has to be communicated to people for them to buy the idea, to key into what the initiators have, so that they will be able to achieve their desires. There is no language that is meant to impact negatively. It's how we handle it. That is what makes it impact negatively. There are elements of language, actually. We have the language itself, we have the dressing, we have food, and other way of life of a people. And so it's because we've allowed the culture of other people to overshadow our own. That is why we are seeing it as impacting negatively.
Okay.
I think that is the way I see it.
When you look at the cultural heritage, the mother tongue plays a profound role in shaping our cultural identity through this cultural heritage. Because language is a vessel of cultural traditions. And these traditions are what a child is born into. And these things have impact even in our communication. You see a Yoruba man, sorry to say, when he's speaking, because the Yoruba man value his language, value his culture, the language, the Yoruba language now have positive influence in the lingua franca, which is the English. Then in community building, language is a common thread that binds communities that have similar language. They tend to have mutual understanding. They tend to have, then secondly, there's what we call cultural preservation. The language preserves our culture. Then when you see someone making use of his local language or his first, the L1, you notice that there is always a bond between the person and the culture, between the person and in preserving that culture. So to me, it is a very good thing that we impact our children with our language, culture, so that they can be well identified as members of the society.
The language expert called on curriculum developers to include the mother tongue into the educational curriculum in Nigeria.
Language is part of us, it's part of our life, it's part of what we do. So unless we look at it and then the developers of curriculum look at it very well and see where they can switch in all these languages. In university, I'm glad that some of the universities have already made it compulsory, like University of Nasarawa. I am very sure because I've seen it. You come, whether you are an Igbo person, the fact that you are in the note, you will learn Hausa language.
Wow.
It's compulsory.
Wow,
All the language students, they learn Hausa language, introduction to Hausa language. You find out that some of them are very, very interested. So if we deliberately make efforts to include it in our curriculum, then it will go a long way to help. If a student know that if you fail this one, it can keep you for the next year, you will make effort to pass it.
If these are inculcated into the university curriculum system, it will help us to have a concrete value for our culture, for our tradition, and for our people. You see, the younger generation will now have interest because they know you cannot be a medicine student or a medical doctor without knowing one or two Nigerian languages. This will now help us help our children to have more interest in learning these languages.